Okay ladies, mesdames, in this video I will reveal to you 6 signs that a man is falling in love with you. Pay close attention because these signs are not the ones you usually see on YouTube videos, and especially the last one where I will be a little bit blunt. First sign, he likes inviting you to restaurants, to the theater, to go out for a walk. He likes doing these things with you. He doesn't just do them because he has to or because it's a core for him, but he truly likes this moment with you. He is there with you. And this distinction is very important because many guys are not into their girlfriend that much, are not really in love with the woman they're with. Maybe it's your case, maybe it has been your case in the past. Many guys have this mindset where they get free access to sex, and they know that in order to keep on having this access to your sexuality, they may sometimes, maybe every couple of months, have to invite you somewhere, to take you out to dinner, to renew your motivation, to renew your enthusiasm. And it's a little bit like putting a coin in a sex machine, and you know that sometimes you have to put another coin in the machine in order to make it work again, make it function. For many guys, it's actually quite hard to get access to sex. And many guys will not be intrinsically motivated into doing all these things with you. They will do them because they have to. But a guy who's falling in love with you, he truly and genuinely likes the time he's spending with you. In this moment where you're out there in the restaurant, this is the final goal for him. This is the intrinsic pleasure for him. Do you understand? It's not just to get something else. It's just this moment. He likes that. He likes talking with you. He likes looking at you. He likes seeing you smile. He likes seeing you happy, making you happy. This is a great sign that he's starting to fall in love with you. Next is eye contact. And this has actually been backed by science. Things we like, things we find beautiful, we want to look at them because it makes us feel good, because we release feel-good hormones. When I look at a beautiful face, when I look at my sister, my brother, my mother, I have this feel-good hormone, oxytocin. It makes me want to get closer to them, and because I'm close to them, I want to look at them, at their faces, and especially at their eyes. When a man starts falling in love with a woman, he will tend to look more into her eyes. And what happens when he looks into your eyes is that he produces more oxytocin. So this is a positive feedback loop. That's why couples who are in love, they look at each other's eyes, and that makes them fall in love even more. That's a little trick if you want to use this. So oxytocin is the bonding hormone. It's what mammals release when they get closer together. It's what a mommy releases when she breastfeeds her child, So look at the eyes. Look in the eyes. The eyes tell you everything. Males' gaze tell you everything. A guy who's falling in love with you will tend to look at you more in the eyes. And he will produce more oxytocin because he likes looking at you. Third sign, ladies. And let me show you where I am before I give you the third sign. I'm in the Palais Royal in Paris, of course, which used to be a royal house for the king before Versailles. Actually, the young Louis XIV used to be there during the Fronde. The Fronde was a period in French history where the king was in danger because nobles tried to make a revolution against him and try to kill him. So the third sign is he appreciates a unique feature about you. Not necessarily something positive, not necessarily an advantage. It can even be a so-called flaw. It can be the peculiar shape of your nose. It can be the weird way you laugh or smile. It can be your scent. It can be the way you walk. It's something that is specific to you and that he cannot find in another girl. This means two things. This means, first of all, that he has developed empathy towards you. And as I told you earlier, empathy comes when a man falls in love. Men have less empathy than women in general because of testosterone. But when they fall in love, they develop more empathy. So they see all these details about you. They know you. A man in love starts getting to know you. A man in love starts getting to know you. Not only the psychological traits. A man in love starts getting to know you. Not only the physical traits, but also the psychological traits. These small details. He knows your personality. He knows your flaws. He knows these stuff. Not only the best stuff, but he knows them because he pays attention to you. And that leads me to a question that I would like you to keep in mind and ask your boyfriend or the guy you are with at the time in order to understand where he stands with you. I would like you to ask him, what do you like about me? I think this is a crucial yet simple question. Do it when you're in front of him. Don't do it through text because then it gives him time to make something up if he wants to lie. Ask him directly, eye to eye. I mean, it's not a confrontation, of course, but you want to see the reaction, the emotional reaction. What do you like about me? And hear what he says. It's okay if it's physical attributes. It's actually fine. It's great. You know, we fall in love with a physical envelope. Also, many things, physical, psychological, personality traits, anything, but it will give you an information. Does he know stuff about you? Does he know these small details about you? That's an interesting information. Or is it just about the way he has sex with you, or just about your body, which can be great, but it also gives you information. I think women should ask this question way earlier. Sometimes they never do. I've had an ex-girlfriend of mine who unfortunately asked me this question too late. I'm saying girlfriend, unfortunately. I didn't see her at the time as a girlfriend, and I tried to warn her about this because I didn't feel an intellectual connection between us. Conversations were not that great, were not that deep. And I tried telling her this and she just replied to me, I am the way I am. You need to accept that. And one day she asked me, what do you like about me? Good question, but timing not so great. And I said, I like your hair, I like your body, and I like your blowjobs, and that's all. And of course, she didn't really like that, but I was honest about it. So a guy who is starting to fall in love, not only will he notice these details about you, psychological and physical, but he will like these things that are not necessarily positive, but he will like them. He will start to get attached to these peculiar details that he can only find with you. Fourth sign, he wants you to participate in the things that are important to him. And this is related to what I call the integration phase, right before the final commitment phase, where a guy decides that he wants you in his life, that he wants to commit with you. We're a little bit before that in what I call the integration phase. It's a phase where a guy will try to integrate you in his life in order to test whether you guys are compatible or not. He will try to integrate you into his hobbies, into his activities, into his friendships, everything that he likes. And does it fit? Do you guys fit together? So maybe he likes working out and he wants you to join him during exercise and see if you guys can do it together. Maybe he can teach you something. It doesn't mean you have to perform, obviously. It's just a way for him to see if you enjoy that, if it can fit for the long term, if you guys can do this on a regular basis. It can be a guy inviting you to have a walk, a hike in your countryside close to where you live. These are all great signs because you're very close to the commitment phase, to the final phase where guys knows this is the one and only the woman I want to spend time long-term with, and I want her to have my children, you know? So this is the phase before. And he would definitely not do this if he just wanted to have sex with you. Obviously, he sees something else with you. He starts taking you seriously. So that's great. All right, the fifth sign is not coming from here, but it's coming from here, from the gut. He wants and he needs to protect you, not just because of some pride or masculine toxic behavior, I might say, but it's something deeply rooted in him. He cannot bear the fact that you might be in danger, that you might be sad, that something bad might happen to you, that you might be frustrated, just like he would not if something happened to his mother or his sister. It's not just about cultural stuff, it comes from the gut, it's a deep instinct, masculine instinct. He wants to protect you, he wants you safe, your body needs to be safe. And that's a very, very strong sign of passion towards you. This man is definitely more than infatuated with you. He is deeply attached to you. It's something more, it's something else. That's a great sign. You might look for it. Just try, telling him a story where you were maybe a little bit in danger, see how he reacts. That would be a great sign. I mean, and of course, a guy can be in love with you and not have these protective instincts, because some guys are not like that. But if he has this, then he's definitely starting, and well, he's not starting, he's definitely in love with you right now at this point. And finally, the most important sign, watch out how he behaves after orgasm. Because, guys can be very different before and after sex. They can be very different right before the moment they have sex with you and right after. This is what men joke around about when they say the post-nut clarity. It all suddenly becomes so clear. I was dumb, now I can see, finally, because the desire makes a man completely irrational sometimes, and when the desire goes away, then there's nothing left unless he's in love with you. Because if he's in love with you, it's not just about desire, it's also about attachment. And that's why I always tell women, please don't just invest in the attraction, invest also into his attachment, into the emotional bond between you guys, because that will remain right after the orgasm. And the man who's in love will remain the same after the orgasm. He will still want to talk with you, he will still want to cuddle with you. But a man who is not in love after the orgasm, when he's empty, he does not want to talk with you. He doesn't want to cuddle with you. Maybe he's disgusted. Some guys can be disgusted at this moment. They can have this mentality where they're like, what the fuck am I doing here? Be careful with this. This is the moment when you need to watch your man. It will give you all the informations. And I actually usually joke with women about this when they ask me about a promise that I made earlier, usually before sex, and they say, hey, what about this promise you had earlier? And I say, what promise? Oh, this. Well, my balls were full at the time, so it's not valid anymore. Obviously, I'm joking, but it's just to get the point across. A man who's in love will stay consistent before and after orgasm. There won't be much difference because he's attached to you. He might temporarily be a little bit tired. He might rest 30 minutes, but then he will get back to his initial state. And that's a great sign, and I think that's the most important one that you need to watch out. Okay? If you want to learn more about male psychology, and especially how men fall in love, the process of falling in love, I've made a video about this that I'll put you here on top of the screen and also on the first comment.